I moved from the US to Thailand recently. I'm a Thai adoptee who moved to start the search to look for my birth mom and get my Thai citizenship. So I was adopted through Holt International, and they're actually really helping me with the process of both my citizenship and navigating the birth parent search. And I only recently got my full adoption records this year, and I saw for the first time my birth parents' names, what hospital I was born at. I saw how old they were. And so I know that in my case, at least, there's really clear records. Each country is handling things differently. So the adoption agency, at least what I'm seeing from Holt, is following the lead of the Thai government. And so my experience in Thailand as a Thai adoptee is very different than what the Korean adoptees were going through. And so it shows me that the whole system of adoption is following the example and lead of the governments of that particular country that these children are being adopted from internationally. And so that's why I've been so really blessed to be able to have the detailed records that I do. Thailand, if people don't know, they're really, really big into paperwork. Really, really big. That's also part of why it's taking so long to get my citizenship stuff done. But it's been a blessing because every baby in Thailand is given a Thai ID number that's associated with their house. It's called a house number. And for most people, it's the house number of their mom. And then for someone like me, we had to figure out, okay, was it registered to your birth mother, or was it ended up being registered to the adoption agency, which it did. And depending on when you were born, there's different district offices, and some of the districts got redistricted since that period. And so you have to do some historical investigation to make sure you're even going to the right government office to inquire. And it was really interesting because when I got to Thailand to do this process and Holt was with me, they had two people with me talking in Thai to the government officials. We've had many appointments. And I saw this giant book. It was looked like a Yellow Pages book, and it has your original birth certificate in it. And so I got, certified copies from there, but it was just crazy to me. And I can't say it's that different in the United States because I know that government documents aren't digitized. I was actually a pre-law student in my undergrad and did an internship with the DA's office when I was in Boston. So, there's one good thing, I guess. It's very, very interesting. And so my cousin and my family is also adopted from China. And I know that she went on her own journey to look for her birth mom. And they just don't have the kind of records in her case. And so they do everything by DNA testing over there. And so far, she hasn't had any luck. So it's just really interesting. Everybody's story is different. And if you're an international adoptee like me, I thought for the longest time that it was impossible because I'd only heard these stories of other adoptees that were international who, just seemed like a needle in the haystack. And because I hadn't encountered other Thai adoptees, I just assumed that my situation was going to be the same as theirs. But I just, in general in life, really encourage people to follow through with the things that are important in the heart because you don't know what you don't know. Do your best to be in a place where you feel grounded enough and supported enough to go through something that like this, which is emotional. And so when I got to Thailand and I got to meet the people at the adoption agency, I was really happily surprised to learn that they take it very seriously, the reunification process of reintroducing an adoptee with a biological family. And adoption is a very complex situation. I'm here to tell you that some cases they don't want to meet you. I'm saying that because I've been running a support group for the last almost 6 years for adoptees that are actually in recovery because we also have really high representation in the addiction community and we have 4 times the rate of suicide. So with that being said, it's not just the trauma for an adoptee going through life, never having that connection with their biological parent and never knowing. It's also what's the trauma that has been experienced by the birth mother who was forced to give up their child. And so I didn't come to this decision to start looking for my biological mother lightly. I knew that this could possibly be very, very deeply emotionally challenging because there's so many unknown variables. But one of the things I learned about the Thai culture too is that they take time to get to know you, whether you're doing business with someone or in a case like this, as you can imagine, there's a lot of different things to take into account. And so the adoption agency takes time to their counseling. They provide for both the adoptee and then also the biological mother. They also account for there's cultural differences. And so they're handling it very delicately and they take their time. And what I've learned about Thai culture too is that it's not so much transactional perhaps as we're used to in the West. There is almost like a courting where you have to get to know each other. And I think the adoption agency also is getting a feeling for who I am. How am I going to respond during this process? They've watched a lot of adoptees. They've been really busy because so many people like myself that are Thai adoptees have been coming back to Thailand to look for their birth parents and get their Thai citizenship. And what I've noticed on some of my other pages is that the Thai people have been commenting and really engaged with me because they said it's very rare to meet Thai adoptees who are adopted internationally out of the country. So when I heard that, I started looking at the statistics and I couldn't get, a general one from all over the different agencies. But for instance, like Holt International, since 1975 has only adopted out 1,000 Thai adoptees internationally versus 86,000 when it came to the Chinese and so forth. I don't know the stats right in front of me, but it just kind of gives you an idea. And the Korean adoptees were really adopted out, I think, the most. But anyhow, we don't come across each other. When I grew up in the United States, I was in a predominantly all-white neighborhood in a very small town in Pennsylvania. They only had 1,000 people growing up, and they didn't have any other Asians except for the people who owned the Chinese restaurant. Even throughout my life, I think I encountered other Thai people once in the city when I was with my dad, when I was going to do some naturalization stuff, and then once again in Washington, D.C. And so as an adoptee growing up and seeing, there's like a community of Chinese adoptees. I have a cousin, Mei who was adopted from China. I was like, there's a community of Korean adoptees. I keep meeting people who are Korean. And so for me to hear that there's so many more of us than I thought there was, and that we're all coming back to do the same thing is like, it's really profound. Since I've moved to Thailand, I've begun this journey. I've met now 4 Thai adoptees. I've had people reach out to me who are Thai adoptees who I'm now also helping connect them with resources. And I did learn while I'm doing this recently, there is a woman, and we're really similar in age, went through Holt together. And when she told me the little bit she did know about her foster family, I was in a foster family for 4 years. She was in one for 2. There are some overlapping details about some of our foster family members that leads me to think there is a very good probability we may have actually been in the same foster family at the same time. So as I've been helping her connect with how to get her full documents, records for her adoption, more to be revealed, but it's crazy. There's so many unknowns as an adoptee, and to finally start to, for me to even see that my parents' names were on there, that I have a birth certificate, there were so many unknowns where I grew up being told we don't really even know, if they have that information for you or not. And another thing that was interesting is that I'm well into my adulthood and I could have started looking for these facts sooner, but I emotionally I wasn't ready. I'm almost 7 years sober too. That was a huge part of my journey. And I learned a lot in my recovery journey as someone who is recovering from alcohol addiction, that I didn't want to put on too much on my plate in early sobriety. I'm an artist, singer, and songwriter, and I actually completely put a pause on doing anything musical for the first year. I was really blessed to be scholarshiped to go to rehab by the MusiCares Foundation, and they had a wonderful network and support system, and I utilized that. I used to go to support meetings that were just other musicians in recovery. That was a whole another journey its own. So it's taken me a lot of different things that I've had to walk through before I've been able to even get to this place of feeling like I'm emotionally as prepared as I can be for this new leg of my journey. And there's been a lot of things that I've been experiencing as someone who's a Thai adoptee living in Thailand in terms of how I'm treated based on my perceived identity and kind of having to negotiate having not been raised with the language or the culture. So far, the Thai community has been receiving me with open arms. If anything, sometimes the more ignorant things I hear are from the actual Western expats. I am not rushing anything. I've had a lot of people kind of reiterate to me, you don't want to wait too long. Your mom might not be around, but I trust the process. I trust the people that are working with me to do this in a way where I've always been one of those people that I try to be as prepared as I can for something because it's only going to lead to the potential of having a better outcome. And I believe if things were to be rushed and we were to gloss over things, perhaps some of the cultural differences, I would hate to have a reunification not happen because of accidentally offending my birth mother. I still don't know for sure if she's alive or not yet, so that's the first step. But the adoption agency really wanted to just take me through getting my citizenship first. And I think, like I said, as it's a part of the Thai culture, I think they just want to get to know me before they know the assimilating process for a Thai adoptee back into Thailand. They have watched some of these adoptees go crazy, as they say. Just, it's so traumatic. And there's so many challenges you're faced when you're living in a country where you know you were taken from. And to be there and to not be able to speak the language and communicate, for me, has been a self-conscious part of the process. I'm not going to lie. And it's probably why I have kind of not really learned much Thai yet. Not because I don't want to. It's kind of the opposite. I want to so much, but I feel kind of ashamed that I don't, and it's expected of me. But anyhow, I just wanted to check in with you guys and share this aspect of my journey as a Thai adoptee living in Thailand that I haven't really touched upon that much yet, just because we've, started with the citizenship process. I think with anything, community has been huge for me to get here, to meet other fellow adoptees who understand the complexities, the challenges, the trauma we overcome. They don't have to be Thai adoptees. They don't even have to be international adoptees. There's just so many commonalities in our stories. But it's been this special kind of cherry on top to finally connect with other Thai adoptees. So more to be revealed. I currently had to come back to Pennsylvania because my father growing up passed away. And so that's also been another big chapter, that is closing and changing. But yeah, I don't know, just a lot of things. And I'm really excited to be able to finally share my music with you guys. I am planning on releasing my first single in this next year, so be on the lookout for that and much more to come. So